Good evening and welcome to Chesapeake Public Schools Family Empowerment webinar presented by the Office of Family and Community Engagement. I am April Darnell, one of your FACE specialists. Our office, which is under the Department of Engagement, seeks to create meaningful partnerships in order to inspire, engage, and empower families, educators, and community agencies to support the initiatives of Chesapeake Public Schools. We are typically available Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. and can be reached by our main phone line at 757-482-5923 or at face@cpschools.com. Thank you for joining us tonight for our secondary session of Math Matters Supporting Math at Home. We are excited to have joining us tonight several panelists from our mathematics department. Before we begin, I want to let you know this webinar is being recorded to share on our Chesapeake Public Schools YouTube channel. Participants' cameras and the chat feature are disabled. If you have any questions, please use the Q&A feature located at the bottom of this screen. We will answer all questions by the conclusion of tonight's presentation. And now we would like to introduce our panelists. First, we have Dr. Francie Cooney, Supervisor of Mathematics, Dr. Jennifer Morris Hayes, Coordinator of Mathematics for Title I, and Ms. Patricia Moore, Coordinator of Mathematics. Welcome, everyone. Thank you for being here tonight. At this time, I would like to turn the program over to Dr. Jennifer Morris Hayes.
Welcome to Peak Parent University supporting math at home for secondary students. We hope you will be able to find new ideas to instill a love of mathematics for both your student and yourself. Again, let us introduce ourselves. Dr. Francie Cooney is the supervisor of K-12 mathematics. Dr. Jennifer Morris Hayes is the coordinator of elementary mathematics. And I, Patricia Moore, am the coordinator of secondary mathematics. In this webinar, we will be sharing some basics about mathematics instruction and what you and your student need to know. We will then share some specific activities that you can incorporate right away. We will finish up with some strategies for helping your student succeed. So let's get started. What kind of attitude do you have toward math? Do you believe that math skills are important and life skills and are very useful in everyday life? Or do you dread doing things that involve math, such as figuring out how much carpet you'll need, balancing the bank account, reading the technical manual that comes with the TV? Are you confused by math and therefore you try not to use it every day? Or do you love math and you don't shy away from situations involving solving a problem? How you answer these questions indicates how you may be influencing your child's attitudes toward math and how your child approaches learning. Although parents can be a positive force in helping children learn math, they can also undermine their children's math ability and their attitudes, saying things such as, math is hard, I'm not surprised you don't do well in math, I didn't like math either when I was in school, or I wasn't very good in math and I'm a success, so don't worry about doing well. Although you can't make your child like math, you can encourage them to do so, and you can take steps to ensure that they will learn to appreciate its value in both in everyday life and preparing for the future. You might point out how fortunate they are to have the opportunity to learn math today, when mathematics knowledge can open the door to so many interesting and exciting possibilities. In everyday interactions with children, there are many things that parents can do without lecturing, without applying pressure, to help children learn how to solve problems, to communicate mathematically, and to demonstrate reasoning abilities. These skills are fundamental to learning mathematics.
You can help your student learn math by offering them insights into how to approach math. They will develop more confidence in their math ability if they understand the following points. Problems can be solved in different ways. Although most math problems have only one answer, there may be many ways to get to that answer. Learning math is more than finding the correct answer. It's also a process of solving problems and applying what you've learned to new problems. Wrong answers sometimes can be useful. Accuracy is always important in math. However, sometimes you can use a wrong answer to help your student figure out why they made a mistake. Analyzing wrong answers can help your student to understand the concepts underlying the problem and to learn to apply reasoning skills to arrive at the correct answer. Ask your student to explain how they solved a math problem. Their explanation might help you discover if they need help with basic number skills or if they need help figuring out how to solve the problem. Take risks. Help your child to be a risk taker. Help them see the value of trying to solve a problem, even when it's difficult. Give your student time to explore different approaches to solving a difficult problem. As they're working, encourage them to talk about their thought process. This will help them to strengthen math skills and to become an independent thinker and problem solver. Being able to do mathematics in your head is important. Mathematics isn't restricted to pencil and paper activities. Doing math in your head, mental math, is a valuable skill that comes in handy as we make quick calculations of costs in stores, restaurants, or gas stations. Let your student know that by using mental math, their math skills do become stronger. And finally, it's okay to use calculators to solve math problems. Sometimes. They're widely used today, and knowing how to use them correctly is important. The idea is for your student not to fall back on the excuse of, I don't need to know math, I've got a calculator. Let your student know that to use them correctly and efficiently, they will need a strong foundation in math operations. Otherwise, how will they know whether the answer displayed on the screen is even reasonable? Although on the 6th and 7th grade SOL tests, some of the skills tested will not allow students to use a calculator, and they must know how to solve problems without one.
We are going to share some activities that you can use with your students to strengthen math skills and build positive attitudes toward math. These activities use common household items, or they occur naturally in everyday life. You don't need to be a great mathematician or to have a college degree in math to use them. Your time and your interests and the pleasure that you share with your student as part of working together are what matters most. First, the Virginia Department of Education has a page with lots of ideas and supporting activities that you can use with your student. The link has been shared with you on the slide. Okay. You can also cook and bake together. Have your student figure out new measurements if you double or if you triple the recipe, or if you need to cut the recipe in half. You can talk about conversions, such as how many teaspoons are in a tablespoon, how many cups are in a quart, etc. You can play Would You Rather with your student. You can make up the questions, or you can do a Google search for them. There are several examples provided to you on the slide. Students will have to do some math to figure out which option is the best. Sorry about that. There we go. You can help build communication skills by encouraging your student to explain the process they use to figure out the math and why they chose that particular option. Okay. You can also suggest that you'll get new flooring in a particular room of your house. So, to make it interesting, it could be your child's room. Have them measure and create a scale model of their room, and then figure out the square footage. Go online and find out the cost of flooring. Different types, carpet, tile, laminate, etc. How much would it cost to replace the current flooring? Which type of flooring is cheapest? Which one's the most expensive? Have your student explain why they chose that particular type of flooring.
No extra materials are needed for a fun scavenger hunt, as you can use items that are already found in your house. These are just a few examples. You can have your student find an object that's about 11 inches long to practice estimation. Ask your student what to do what to do to add up all the numbers on the microwave. What do they add up to? Have your student find something in the house that is a triangle. Then reverse roles. Have your student come up with an object or a topic, such as finding something that is a square, and you, as the parent, find the object. Your student will appreciate your willingness to play such a game with them.
Here are 2 examples of card games you can play with your student. The first game is called Make 11. Here's where you would place down 3 rows with 3 cards in each. Then you find 2 or 3 cards to add to 11. You set them aside and replace the cards from the deck. Keep going until no more sets of 11 can be made. To make it competitive, the person with the most amount of sets of 11 wins. The next game is called Race to 100. Using 1 deck of cards face down, each player can take a turn of flipping a card over. Every time a player flips a card, they add it to their running total. The first person to get 100 without going over wins. In this game, let the jacks equal 11, queens equal 12, kings equal 13, and the aces equal 0 for easy addition. Imagine the family fun these card games can bring your family using simple adding skills. Another game to play is called Yahtzee. If you have the actual game at home, it is great for basic math skills. The object of Yahtzee is to get as many points as possible by rolling 5 dice and getting certain combinations of dice. You can also download Yahtzee with the app called Buddies, or you can play it on your computer. If you are not familiar with the rules, the computer version provides the rules on how to score the different combinations of dice. You can see from the computer version example on the right side of your screen that you rolled 3 5s and 2 1s, giving you 3 of a kind, a full house, and chance points. The link for the computer version will be provided after this webinar. You can build items with your students. Using materials from around the house, you can create a symmetrical image, then figure out how many lines of symmetry it has. You can also build model bridges or other useful structures and talk about strengths of materials, a very important concept in construction and shipbuilding. There are many ways you can support and help your students succeed in mathematics. Monitor the parent view, which displays your students' grades. If you see areas of concern, meet with their teacher and ask how your student approaches mathematics. Do they enjoy it? Do they participate actively? Do they understand assignments and accurately complete them? If the student indicates that your student has problems with math, ask for specific things that you can do to help. Check math homework and other assignments. After the work has been returned, have your student bring it home so that they can read the comments to see if they have done the assignment satisfactorily. However, do not do homework for your student. Limit your assistance to seeing that they understand the assignments and that they have the necessary supplies to do them. Too much parent involvement in homework can make students dependent, and it takes away from the value of the homework as a way for the student to become independent and responsible. Help your student to see that the math that they are learning is very much a part of everyday life. From statistics in sports to the sale of the price of clothing to the amount of gas needed to travel from one city to another, math is important to us every day. Help your student to link their school math to practical events in the real world. Point out that many jobs require mathematical skills. Your student may recognize that many people must have good math skills to do their jobs, like scientists, doctors, computer technicians, accountants, and bankers, for example. However, they may not realize that many other jobs also require math. Point out that math is also used in jobs such as running a business, being a plumber, a carpenter, an electrician or mechanic, being a salesperson or clerk, and designing clothes or buildings. Let them know that having strong math skills will open up many career opportunities. Stimulate your students' interest in technology. Help your student learn how to use calculators, but don't let them rely solely on calculators to solve math problems. Encourage them to use computers to extend what they are learning and to find math games and math-related websites that will increase their interest in math. Show your student that you like mathematics, and letting your students see that you use math and that you aren't afraid of it will go much further to building positive attitudes about math. Set high standards for your student in mathematics achievement. Encourage their interest by doing the kinds of activities we have shown you in this presentation or coming up with your own activities. Linked in the slide deck are some other resources you and your student may find useful in supporting math at home. Khan Academy has useful videos and practice problems for a variety of subject areas. Virtual Nerd has videos for grades 6 through 8, Algebra 1, Geometry, and Algebra 2, and also lists videos important for SAT and ACT preparation. Mathagon Polypad and Didax host virtual manipulatives, which may be helpful for students who need a more hands-on approach to solving problems. These links will also be provided to you after the webinar. We thank you for joining us this evening to learn strategies for supporting math instruction at home. We hope we've provided you with some fun and engaging activities that you can incorporate right away, maybe tonight. Now, let's turn it back over to April.
Thank you, panelists, for your wealth of information. Should you have any questions about tonight's webinar or need additional information and/or resources, please contact us at face@cpschools.com. This concludes our Secondary Math Matters webinar. Again, I would like to thank all of our panelists for sharing information with us this evening. Please remember this webinar has been recorded and will be uploaded to Chesapeake Public Schools YouTube page within the next week. Thank you for joining us this evening, and remember, families and communities work better together.